51. Hopefully, you guys are joining in. Gonna let a little bit more people come in, and we will start this live. What's up, Kelly Savalas? I rule. I want to rule. I want to rule the world. But thanks, bro. But I'm on here today with you guys. Hopefully, you guys are joining in, chilling. I'm gonna welcome everybody in here. But we're gonna talk about some things today. Some good topics. Something that maybe some of you might have heard about. Maybe you heard about other people talking about. You feel me? But yeah, we're gonna talk about basically we're gonna talk about the stereotype that people in the Bay Area, or at least Chicanos or Raza in the Bay Area, try to act black, and that we're somehow ashamed to be Raza or Latinos or whatever. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I've made videos about these subjects before. You know what I mean? I made a video about Raza in the Bay Area using the N word. I've even made a video about uh, people trying to put Raza in a box. I made another one that was about I think it was called Why Chicanos in Oakland Act Black. So I've talked about it before, but I never really talked about it as a subject on live. And I want to get more people in it for we could have a deeper discussion about it. But it should be a good discussion. Hopefully, more people will be joining in. You guys are probably on somebody else's live, but it's all good. That's why I do it a little later, because sometimes some homies ain't live so late. And this is the first time me doing a live with Jay on a Sunday for a minute, but hopefully we get more people on here and we could get it started. You feel me? So what's up with everybody? Let's see if more people come in before I get it started. What's up, Luis Ramirez? How you doing, bro? We don't try to act black. It's just where we from, similar to Puerto Rican and Brooklyn, with the East Coast accent. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that people try to act black. What I'm saying is that's the stereotype. What's up, Art Best? That's the stereotype most people have of Raza, either from the Bay Area or from Oakland or from Richmond or San Francisco or Vallejo or even from Sacramento. Usually, oh, what's up, Miguel Flores? Um, Usually, the stereotype, sometimes people from the Central Valley, the Central Coast, what's up, Jose Rodriguez, or even SoCal or other parts of the United States, or Southern California or the Southwest, there's kind of a perception or a belief that Chicanos or Raza, Latinos, whatever you want to call us, in the Bay Area, Oakland in particular, but other cities, that we try to act black, and that we're ashamed of our culture, that we're ashamed of who we are. I hear that over and over again, especially like a lot of Raza that's not from the Bay Area. You know what I mean? And I want to talk about that in more detail about why people would perceive that. You know what I mean? And the misunderstanding that people have of why people act like that. And I'm going to talk about, is it a good, is it a bad? I'm going to talk about all them things. Once we get more people on here, that's what they used to say in LA, but now people in LA actually do try to talk black. That's what I heard, something like that. Press the like button if you guys are joining in. But I've actually made several videos on that subject in the past. I've made videos about this subject. I made, over the years, I have made at least a good 4 or 5 videos about it. You know what I mean? And so I have talked about it. I just never really talked about it in a live feed, and I just want to get more in depth with it with you guys and see what you guys think in a live setting. Maybe you could give me your feedback. But basically, today's subject is Chicano, Raza, Cholo, whatever you want to call it, styles in Oakland and the Bay Area, and the perceived notion that Raza or Chicanos in Oakland and the Bay Area act like we're black. And that's the stereotype people have of us out here. And where does that come from? Now, if you know your Oakland history or Bay Area history, there was a large migration of African Americans to the Bay Area. You know what I mean? A lot of blacks were brought to Oakland and to Richmond and Vallejo because of the shipyards. You know what I mean? Because of the shipyards and the military installations and jobs. But at the same time, a lot of Chicanos, a lot of Raza, A lot of white folks also from the south, and raza from the southwest and from Mexico. Some were braceros came to the Bay Area as well to fill in the similar jobs that the African Americans were coming in. But there was definitely a large migration of African Americans to the Bay Area. You know, particularly Oakland, but San Francisco as well, Hunters Point, Fillmore, Vallejo, Richmond. A lot of people don't know that there used to be the Kaiser shipyards in Richmond. There used to be the Ford plant in Richmond. There used to be car factories in Oakland. The Todd shipyard used to be in Oakland too. And a lot of factories and warehouses that were all over Oakland and the Bay Area. And that brought people during the war to work here because all the money was in the Bay Area. You know what I mean? But the African American migration was a pretty big one to this area. And it brought a lot of people from the South, especially Louisiana. And it brought a lot of Southern culture and slang to the Bay Area, which is something we don't think about. That migration brought a lot of people, that both blacks and whites, who came from to the Bay Area during World War II and during that era, brought a lot of Southern culture to the Bay Area. And what I mean Southern United States. I mean, south of the Dixie Mason line, that kind of stuff. So the whole perceived notion of acting black is actually a Southern way of talking. You know what I mean? So y'all and all them words, that comes from Southern people. So, you know, both blacks and whites talk like that in the South. And no one says that white people out there talk like you're black. It's just part of the culture of the South. Just like both black and white people in the South eat gumbo and eat red beans and rice and grits and collard greens. All people in the South eat that stuff. Even some Chicanos from the South eat that stuff, especially in Texas. In Texas, I seen more, when I was in Texas, I seen hella Chicano barbecue places. You feel me? They do exist. So, Southern culture was brought to the Bay Area because of the mass migration. But at the same time, we don't think of it like this. Also, a lot of Chicanos came to Oakland who were from the Southwest, from especially Texas. A lot of people from El Paso, a lot of people from Houston, a lot of people from Corpus Christi, a lot of people from Southern Texas came to the Bay Area looking for the shipyard jobs and for the military jobs. Also, people from Nuevo Mexico came out here as well. People from Colorado, people from Arizona. You know what I mean? And also a lot of braceros came from Mexico who were brought in as temporary workers, not only in the fields, but they brought them in to the to work in the railroads and the shipyards as well. That's something that's not talked about. So you have this mass fucking migration of people, and obviously the blacks, when they came here, they brought their culture with them. Exactly, they settled in Oakland, Hunters Point, Marin City, North Richmond. A lot of people don't know that North Richmond, before it became a black neighborhood, was actually a Portuguese and Mexican neighborhood, and Italians too. A lot of people don't know that. So North Richmond originally was made up of Italians and Portuguese and Mexicans and some blacks as well. There were very little, but there were some. Central Richmond had a large Mexican population before the migration of black people. But a lot of African Americans came to the Bay Area in the 40s. They came, like we said, Hunters Point, San Francisco, Fillmore. They came to Marin City, to Vallejo, to Richmond. You know what I mean? And that's how that migration. West Oakland, yeah, there was a lot of Mexicans, Sicilians, Portuguese, Irish people in West Oakland. Fruitvale was originally a Portuguese, Irish, and German neighborhood. People don't know that. So that's how you brought this Southern culture. And to be honest with you, I used to know Tejanos in Oakland when I was growing up. People from Texas, Chicanos, Tex-Mex people, and they used to love like Southern food. They used to love eating barbecue and grits and all that stuff, bro. And I used to ask them, why do you like that food? And they were like, because I'm from Texas. We barbecue everything in Texas. He was, the way he put it to me, it doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white, if you're Tex-Mex or Tejano, everyone eats barbecue out there. That's kind of the way he made me understand it. You feel me? And it makes sense, because if you technically think about it, Texas is the South. And I met a lot of Tejanos who have a Southern drawl to their accent. So you got to put that in play too, that A lot of people, Chicanos from Texas, came to the Bay Area, and they also had a kind of a southern drawl to the way they talked. People don't think of it that way. Before people say we're talking black, think about that. But so basically, you had this mass migration of African Americans that came to the Bay. You know what I mean? And that influenced a lot of things because the African Americans brought their culture to the Bay Area. You know what I mean? They brought jazz, they brought swing. You started having in West Oakland, you started having all the jazz clubs like Slim Jenkins and various what was the other one? Slim Jenkins and Esther's Orbit Room and various other places that catered to the black jazz and blues culture. You know what I mean? And they brought it to Russell City, as someone explained here in Hayward. And Russell City was both a black, Chicano, and a Puerto Rican neighborhood. A lot of people don't know that. There was also some Portuguese and some yeah, but Sweet Jimmy's was a lot later. I'm talking about in the 40s. You know, you also had Sweet's Ballroom, which is where they used to play jazz, and they used to play mambo and music from Latin America of the time. They used to bring people like Pedro Infante and stuff like that. So, you know, you had a lot of people that brought a lot of different cultures to the Bay Area at that time. The black culture was very, very prominent. You know, let's face it, Chicanos, we have always been influenced by African American culture. Whether we want to accept it or not, hey, even within our own music in Latin America, there's African influence. I gotta tell people that all the time. Press the like button if you guys are joining in. But you know, there was just this big migration of African Americans that came and they brought their culture. And then, like I was saying before, whether we want to accept it or not, Chicanos, Raza, Mexicanos, we're influenced by a lot of black music or African inspired music, music that comes from the African diaspora, as I like to call it. You know what I mean? Not only here, but even in Latin America. If you look at rhythms like salsa, rumba, cumbia, if you look at rhythms like son jarocho from Mexico, you look at rhythms like punta from Honduras and Guatemala and Belize. You know what I mean? And you look at a lot of rhythms, they have African influence, especially cumbia, vallenato, music from Colombia, music from Cuba, music from the Caribbean, reggae, all that stuff that we've been influenced by has African roots, whether people want to accept it or not. That's the reality. So we have African influence even within us because even in our own countries, even in Mexico, there was African slaves and African migrations there that people don't talk about much, that people don't know about. You know what I mean? And it's just it's in us at the same time, whether we want to accept it or not. You know what I mean? And you know, there have been historical figures in Latin America who are black. You know what I mean? And what's up, Cepeda? And somebody said, what they say? I think we don't act black. I think we act ghetto because some Mexican gangs in the Bay Area used to beef with African American gangs. The Norteños used to beef with the African in the 2000s. Sometimes in some cities they did, but you know, like I was saying, there was just a lot of, you know, in the 50s, you know, what was big was the mambo, you know, the cha cha cha, and that all came from son cubano, and son cubano came from came from uh, came from African, you know, African roots, especially Yoruba roots from Nigeria in Cuba, which is something I'm very educated about because I've studied a lot of this music because I am a musician. Yes, there are black people in the coast of Guerrero and Oaxaca. There's black people in Veracruz, or at least mulattoes in Veracruz. Even in states like Michoacan, Jalisco, Guanajuato, you'll find people that have African features. I've met some before, even in El DF. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? We need to stop acting like that's not part of our culture. It is. We have African culture within Latin America, whether we want to accept it or not. It is what it is. It's a fact. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. Yes, I understand we're indigenous. I understand we also have the Spanish and European blood, but there's also an African element. Just like Jose Vasconcelos said, we're a product of three cultures. You know what I mean? La raza cósmica. Remember I was talking about that the last time? But yeah. But that's just how it is. You know, there even within Latin America, there has been, you know, African influences within our own music. You know, and at the same time, A lot of Chicanos and Mexicanos and Raza in general, Puerto Ricans and whoever else was out here in the Bay, let's say the Bay Area, but anywhere. We've always been influenced by African American music. I mean, we play and listen to more African American music sometimes than we listen to our own music of Latin America. We listen to jazz. The old school Chicanos used to listen to blues, jazz, swing. You know what I mean? Even Santana himself started playing blues, as he said. You know what I mean? So, a lot of us were influenced by that music. All that stuff, what we call oldies, which is really R&B, rock and roll, funk, R&B, all that stuff came from African Americans. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's just how it comes down to. You know what I mean? And so yeah, we've been influenced even in SoCal. You go to SoCal where they claim that everybody in the Bay Area talks like they're black, but even in SoCal, they listen to mostly black music in LA. All they listen to is funk and Zapp and Roger. I mean, every cholo rapper from LA puts a Zapp and Roger loop in his rap. So, and who's Zapp and Roger? He sure as hell wasn't a Chicano. You know what I mean? Zapp and Roger was a black man. Uh 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 so was the dude from the dude from Why Must I Feel Like That? Why Must I Chase a Cat? Who was that dude? George Clinton was black. So a lot of these influence came from black people that we get. And I'm not saying it's bad or good. I mean, that's just what we grew up listening to. That was just the popular music in the United States. And Gabriel Torres says, blacks and Chicanos have shared cultures for decades. For example, we started lowriding and enjoying us. We listen to oldies, too many to live. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like in LA, the blacks used to dress like cholos. The Crips and Bloods used to wear khakis and Pendletons and brims and were rolling around in lowriders, and they got that from the Chicanos in LA. You know what I mean? It's no different than homies in Oakland back in the days. Like some Chicanos used to wear Troop or Filas or Pumas or, you know what I mean? A lot of that came from like breakdancing culture. Well, that came from Puerto Ricans too, but there was a lot of influence from the African Americans too. You know what I mean? Now the zoo suit itself, there's a controversy there because the zoo suit came actually from African Americans in Harlem. Because of the jazz culture. Musicians like Cab Calloway, musicians like Lionel Hampton, and all the old jazz musicians of that time used to wear the zoo suits. And then Chicanos in El Paso, Texas, and in the Southwest and in the Bay Area started adopting the zoo suit. I tell people all the time that the Chicanos in Oakland and the Bay Area used to wear zoo suits. They had pachucos in the Bay Area, and I made videos about that history that a lot of people don't know about. But back to the topic at hand. So, again, we had this big migration of African Americans to the Bay Area, and we've always had Chicanos and Raza in the Bay Area as well. Let's not forget that there were always Chicanos here, there was always Mexicanos here, there's always been Puerto Ricans here as well. You know what I mean? A lot of Native Americans too who hung around Chicanos. So there was a big influence from both the Chicano culture and the black culture kind of mixed in one. You know what I mean? So I met a lot of old Chicanos from Oakland who they kind of have this slang like this. You jive ass motherfucker. Why you talking to me like that? They kind of talk like that. I've met some old Chicanos that kind of have a slang like that. Like, you jive ass turkey motherfucker. I'm from Oakland. You know what I mean? I don't fuck around like that. They kind of talk like that. And I'm sure if you're from Oakland, you've met an old Chicano that talks like that. I guarantee you. Because I've met them, bro. I've met a few of them. I met some old white dudes, too, that talk like that. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about, these are old dudes, bro. You know what I mean? And that's just, I think that's where it originated from in the 50s and 60s with the Chicanos and Mexicanos and Puerto Ricans who were living in Oakland. They started picking up some of the slang from the blacks, you know what I mean? Because they went to school with them, and they were going to school with them. They lived in the same neighborhoods, because people don't realize that the first Mexican neighborhood was in West Oakland. And West Oakland is where a lot of the African Americans came to because they couldn't live in any other parts of Oakland. This is what people don't understand. Before 1960, I believe, East Oakland was mostly white, with some blacks and some Chicanos and some Asians living mixed in. But it was mostly white, mostly European. You know, like Fruitvale was a lot of Portuguese, a lot of Irish, a lot of Germans. You know what I mean? Um, there was all kinds of different Europeans and white folks and whites from the South who lived scattered around East Oakland at the time. You know, not very many Rasa or blacks used to live in Oakland, or Asians too. All the people of color were kind of cornered into West Oakland at that time. You know, mostly black, but there was also a Rasa Latino community in West Oakland, and people don't know that. And a lot of the Chicanos and Mexicanos who grew up in West Oakland obviously went to the same schools that African Americans were going to, like McClymonds High School, like School Tompkins, and what's that other one called? Prescott, South Prescott, and all those schools that were in those neighborhoods. A lot of the Chicanos went there with the blacks, and they picked up a lot of influence. And the same goes with cities like Richmond. The same thing goes with cities like San Francisco. You know, you had the Raza and the Mission, and then you had the blacks in Fillmore and Hunters Point. You know what I mean? And you have some mixed neighborhoods like the what you call it what's those Army Street projects. They were right there in the Mission, and the Valencia Park projects too, over there on Valencia. I don't know if they're still there, but I remember those. And then you had Raza that lived in Vallejo, that lived around black people. Richmond, I said Puerto Ricans and Native Americans. I just said that a little while ago. Press the like button if you guys are joining. So all these neighborhoods, wherever there was black people, you had Raza as well. Let's not forget that. Now we're gonna talk about San Jose, which is always like the exception of the rule when it comes to this conversation, because San Jose has always kind of been its own entity. You know what I mean? Let's see what they're saying. Another fact I think is important to say that during the war, Chicano soldiers were called brown N-words by some racist white folks. Yeah, that's true. We fought in almost all the wars along with blacks, and we were hated just the same way blacks were hated. But I was gonna talk about San Jose. Big Sanjo. You know what I mean? The big ass J. Press the like button if you're joining in. The most Chicano city of the Bay Area, according to what people say. The most Raza city. Nobody there says nigga. Nobody there dresses hip hop. Nobody is urban. Everybody is cholo. Ben Davis down. According to most people. You know what I mean? Even though that's not even really true. There's truth to that, but that's not the full truth. You know what I mean? Actually, these days, San Jose is more Asian than it is Raza. Trust me, I work out there, and it's a lot of Asians, bro. Or at least it's being taken over by Asians. But anyway, San Jose has always kind of been its own thing. You know what I mean? San Jose didn't have a large black migration like Oakland did, or like the East Bay did, or San Francisco. San Jose was also, a lot of people don't know, before the 70s, it was very country. All those areas like Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, Mountain View, all those places around there were just country, were fields and orchards, and a lot of a lot of Mexicanos would come there to work the fields. A lot of Native Americans, Mexicanos, a lot of Chicanos from Texas and New Mexico, just like the ones that came to Oakland. The only thing is there, you didn't really have a big black migration. There were some, but not very many. And what happened there is that they've always had like their own thing in a way. They were always separate from Oakland and the rest of the Bay Area. You know what I mean? And San Jose kind of developed. I guess you could say they developed more of a Chicano culture, more of a, more dressing like cholos, more like lowriders, and Lowrider magazine was invented there. Teen Angel magazine was invented in San Jose. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's always been the Chicano city in the Bay Area, according to most people. And I guess a lot of people didn't pick up the slang that we picked up in the Bay Area and the East Bay. So they were always more like Chicano style, like Sanjo, like talking, they talk more Chicano. And yeah, there was always a big difference. Like when I would go to San Jose, or when I would mess around with girls in San Jose, yeah, they would tell me that. Why do you sound like you're black? You sound like you want to be black, or you talk like you're black. And I didn't understand what the hell they were talking about. I was like, what do you mean I talk like I'm black, huh? You know what I mean? I used to be a dick. I used to be like, yeah, that's why you like it. That's why you're fucking with me. but yeah, you know what I mean? It was obviously they got turned on by it or something because why are you fucking around with me if I'm talking like I'm black, according to you? But San Jose just always had their own thing, and I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that's good. You feel me? I'm just saying that that's just how it was. You know, San Ho 408. You know, San Jose. You know, 408. What else? It's the Gilroy and Morgan Hill and all those areas have always kind of been their own thing. You know what I mean? Compared to today, you know, they've always. I mean, compared to the East Bay. I'm sorry. They just always kind of been their own thing. You feel me? And I'm not saying that's bad, and that's not. I'm not saying that's good. It's just it is what it is. They have a different history than the East Bay has. They have a different mix than the East Bay has, and you know, I think they've been more. They've had more like I would say Asian influences out there. In a way, like San Francisco, they've had a lot of Vietnamese people, a lot of Indian people living out there now, and yeah, I mean, I think the Vietnamese are the largest. I think Vietnam. I think San Jose has the largest Vietnamese community in California, I believe, if I remember right. But yeah. So I've kind of broken down the history of why that was, of why Chicanos from the east, from Oakland, the East Bay, has has the black slang or what we consider black slang. You know, because let's not kid ourselves. In Oakland, fools be like, "What's up, blood? What's up, man? That's my partner." You know, that's how fools in Oakland talk. Chicanos in Oakland be talking like that. You know what I mean? And you know me, I mean, you could hear it come out of me sometimes because that's where I'm from. Like, if I'm in Oakland, just naturally, if I see a homie, I be like, "What's up, blood?" You feel me? It just comes out naturally without me even thinking. You know what I mean? That's just. I'm not no blood. I'm not no. You know what I mean? I'm not no Pyru or Damu. I'm just straight from the town. You feel? I'm wearing blue too, so I'm sure it's out no blood. But you know, it just comes out naturally because I'm from the town. You feel me? Sometimes I say the N word. It comes out too. I ain't gonna lie. It comes out, my ninja. You feel me? What's up, my ninja? You know what I mean. So it comes out. It comes out because that's just my environment, and that's just where I'm from, and I'm not afraid to admit it. You know, I if you don't like me because I talk a certain way, then don't fuck with me. You feel me? That's just how it is. But let me see. It's like that out there in Vallejo too, bro. Blood. Yeah, I used to live in Vallejo. I know. What's up out in Healdsburg? 707. Yeah, Vallejo. Vallejo, Richmond. I mean, I got family in Richmond. I met people in Richmond. They talk damn near the same as people from Oakland. You feel me? You got people in Hayward. They have that accent too. What's up, Rojo? That's my boy Rojo right there. Convicts Perspective. We're talking about a touchy subject, Rojo. We're talking about why people say that people, Raza from the Bay Area, particularly Oakland and the Bay Area, talk like they're black. And I kind of broke down the history of why that is in a way that nobody ever else has. You feel me? But yeah, but I think also, you know, we grew up in city in Oakland. A lot of us who grew up in the East, a lot of us who grew up in Richmond and Vallejo, San Francisco. We went to school with African Americans. We went to like Fremont High, McClymonds, you know, Oakland High. We went to fucking the one in the mountain, the deep, what's it called? Castlemont. You know what I mean? And I'm in Richmond. Oh man, what you doing in Richmond, Rojo? That's dangerous territory. But you know, I was saying, a lot of us went to school with African Americans. We grew up on the same music. I mean, I grew up listening to Too Short, to MC Hammer, to Tony Tone. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to MC Pooh. I grew up listening to you know all them rappers from the town, Seagram, you know, Ant Banks, all you know, too many to name. I grew up listening to NWA, to Ice Cube, Ice T. You know, I grew up listening to Compton's Most Wanted. I grew up listening to E40, Mac Dre. You know, all the same shit that many of you guys grew up listening to. That's what I grew up listening to. You feel me? So we were always influenced by African Americans in many ways. And it's just part of the culture out here. It's just not abnormal. I know that people in LA trip off on us sometimes. They say that we act like we're black and that we're not proud to be Chicano. But guess what? I may have that Oakland swag and slang, but I'm 100 motherfucking percent proud to be Raza. You see my flags down there, my Chicano power fist right up there. You feel me? I'm not ashamed of what I am. I play Latin music. I play Spanish music. Música de Colombia, cumbia, and vallenato music. You feel me? And I'm not ashamed of what I am. I know what I am. You know what I mean? I just grew up where I grew up. I would say someone said earlier that people from the Bay Area have a similar accent or swag to like people from like Brooklyn, like Puerto Ricans in Brooklyn, or like Raza in Chicago or Detroit. You know what I mean? Because they grew up around brothers too, so they pick up a little bit of that swag, of that slang. And it just is what it is. You feel me? And that's just how it goes. Press the like button if you guys are joining in. You know what I mean? Like I said before, man, uh, YouTube doesn't monetize my channel, so I am asking for donations. If anybody out there wants to donate to my Venmo, I'm gonna put it up there. If you want to donate any little dollar, bro, donate it. I just posted it up there. That's my Venmo right there at Jose-Rivera-1210. You want to donate anything to the Venmo to help your brother out, boy. You feel me? I've been doing this YouTube stuff for free for too long, and I need the people's help, bro, for I can continue doing this. You feel me? But yeah, YouTube doesn't. I've applied for it many times. YouTube doesn't monetize my channel, so I'm gonna start asking just the community if they want to donate anything. That's my. I just put it up there on the link. That's my Venmo. If you want to donate any little donation you want to give to me, bro, even a dollar. I can't do the super checks and all that because I'm not monetized. But yeah, so a lot of people say that we talk like we're black and we act like we're black. And I'm going to go into the styles of clothing and how it changed over the years in the Bay Area. Now, back in the 40s and 50s, people don't realize that in cities like Oakland, San Francisco, Richmond, Vallejo probably too, the Chicanos used to wear the zoot suits, the Pachuco outfits. You know what I mean? I've showed you pictures of them before on my website, on my IG. That was the thing in the Bay Area. The long chains and the baggy pants tapered at the bottom and the big coats and hats. So there were pachucos in Oakland. So that style was popular all throughout the 40s and 50s. And then what I was told in the 50s and 60s, they used to call the pachucos in Oakland Hondos. I'm not sure exactly where that came from, but that's just what I told, that they used to call like the pachucos Hondos in Oakland. So a lot of OGs have told me that. Press that like button if you guys are joining. And as the 70s came into the 60s, the Chicanos, a lot of them became more militant. They became dressing more like the Black Panthers or Brown Berets, where they were wearing khakis and the big coats and looking like radicals with the long hair or wearing the Brown Berets. That was the thing in the 60s and 70s. You also had a lot of Chicanos who became more hippie looking because the hippie thing was big in the Bay Area at that time. You feel me? So you had a lot of people. You had a mixture, at that time. And then in the 70s, you started getting into the disco era. You had some raza that used to dress. Used to dress like. You had a lot of raza that got into the disco style. You got other raza that got into like the pimp look. The leather jackets, the big brims, and then you got raza that got into the cholo look. The cholo look started hitting Oakland, and people don't realize that the whole wearing khakis, Ben Davis, Pendletons, driving lowriders. People used to roll their lowriders to San Antonio Park, from what I was told, and then um, cruise around like East 14th, and that became the thing. And in 1982, they filmed the documentary "Children of Violence" with Bean Park and Carlos Park and their family, and you see how the style was at that time. They used to wear the winos and the Chuck Taylors and the Stacy Adams and all those old school Chicano styles, the derby jackets, the Sir jackets. If you guys know what I'm talking, if you OG, you know what I'm talking about. That's like the old school look. I can remember like being a little kid in Oakland and seeing like the old cholos, like the old school cholos walking around, bro, with like with like a wife beater on, with just fucking all sleeve down, big ass brocha with like a Pendleton folded up on their arm, and then wearing like baggy khakis with shiny Stacy Adams, bro. I could remember fools in Oakland looking like that, not in L.A., in Oakland, bro. I remember fools looking like that when I was like a little kid, bro. Oh yeah, they used to back then. They used to tuck their pants for sure, their shirts and their pants. That was the thing. That's true. I remember Frank from 36. Somebody, what is he? I remember Frank from 36 told me that he would be low riding in San Antonio when we used to work. Yeah, I knew Frank. Frank Avalos. Yeah, so I mean, that was the style for many years. You know what I mean? And then in the late 80s, that was probably the first generation of cholos that started becoming kind of hip hop influenced because hip hop became the thing. You feel me? And a lot of dudes started wearing like khakis, but they were wearing Pumas or Adidas or Filas. You started having fool homies wearing sweatsuits, and there was a lot of interchange between the hip hop community and the cholo community. You know what I mean? I remember some cholos used to wear like acid wash jeans and stone wash. That was like the thing too in the late '80s, early '90s. Fools used to wear the starter jackets. If you're old enough to remember the starter jackets, the Raiders, the A's ones, you feel me? And then the Nike Cortez. See, Nike Cortez when they first came out, at least in Oakland, I remember the brothers used to wear them a lot. The blacks, you know, before even the Chicanos were wearing them. I remember a lot of black dudes used to wear them. They used to wear them with 501s. You feel me? And that was the style back then. You know, and the Chicanos started wearing the Nike Cortez. You know, you had the Troop. You had that era too when you had Troop and Lottos and Diodoras. And there was a lot of, you know, people were wearing a lot of these different styles. You feel me? But then the Cholo style was always there. You know, oh yeah, there used to be the fools that used to wear the cutoff with their socks up. Yeah, I remember all that stuff. Oh yeah, from Greenspans. Yeah, man. And then you got into the mid '80s where the styles started changing again. You know, you had fools that were wearing Ben Davis. You had fools that were still wearing some of the Pendletons or cow or flannels. You know, but then the baggy look started coming out in the mid '90s. You know, because you know if you really look at the '80s and early '90s, they were wearing more like fitted clothes. They weren't wearing baggy pants back then, bro. I dare you to look at any pictures of that era, and they don't wear baggy clothes, bro. They wear fitted clothes. That's why it makes me laugh when people make fun of tight jeans or fitted clothes. When them old motherfuckers, they were wearing like tight shit, kinda in a way. Even the cholos, you know what I mean? But the baggy look became big in the mid '90s. That's when that first started happening, and you started seeing fools wearing the big baggy jeans. You know, the Levi silver tabs, the baggy Ben Davises. You started seeing fools wearing the Boss pants. I don't know if you guys remember those, and different other styles that started becoming popular. Oh, the Miller's Outpost, yeah. The Anchor Blue that became popular, and then people were wearing what's the other brand? Frisco, yeah, Frisco jeans. The Interstate pants. Who remembers the Interstate pants? And then fools were wearing the thick corduroys. Remember those? A lot of cats were wearing the corduroy style. And the Interstate jeans, yep. And the Interstate corduroys. And then I remember in the late '90s, they used to wear like the corduroys, the Interstate corduroys, with a vest on, like a sweater vest. You know what I mean? Oh, thanks, Lou. You know what I mean? And the IS, yeah, Interstate, and people were wearing the Stacey Adam Wallaby shoes. You know those black and brown shoes. You know, and oh yeah, camel pants. I remember those. And remember the Player 69 shirts, and then late '90s people started wearing like Rockaware Fubu. A lot of Chicanos started gravitating to that. You know what I mean? A lot of cats started wearing the what else were they wearing back then? A lot of the Dockers. Remember when fools stopped wearing Benz and Dickies and they started wearing Dockers? Dockers are like Eddie Bauer pants. That was like a big thing back then. The Carl Kanives, yup. South Pole. They wore South Pole out here too. I knew some cats that wore it. And then I would say there was still a little bit of that cholo swag, even when people were starting to wear FUBU and all that. There was still like a cholo style still there. It still hadn't died out altogether. You know what I mean? And then I would say the cholo style really, really died out completely in the Bay Area, or at least in Oakland and some parts of the East Bay, was during the hyphy era. I would have to say, if you would ask me, it seemed like during the hyphy era That's when the fucking game completely changed altogether. I never wore ankles. I didn't fuck with those. But but you know, that whole era changed. You know what I mean? That, you know, the new generation just completely rejected anything old school, anything Chicano, anything, any of that. And what I notice is that when the hyphy movement came around, the mentality kind of became that if you dress cholo or if you dress old school Chicano, you were a sureño or you were trying to act like you were from LA. You know what I mean? And that kind of became the general consensus with a lot of raza in the Bay Area, bro. Well, at least a lot of raza that was in the game. You know what I mean? Back in those days. Seriously, I remember that mentality. Like, oh, this fool's trying to look like a screezy. You guys know what that word means. You know, he's trying to look like he's from LA. Even though a lot of these fools didn't even realize that their uncles and their cousins and their older brothers were wearing bands and wearing dickies and Pendletons and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And driving lowriders, you know? So it's like yes, those styles did exist in Oakland and the Bay Area, those Cholo Chicano styles. We had that swag in Oakland. I grew up during that era. So that I'm very influenced from that Chicano Cholo style. That's why I kind of have that kind of vibe to me. You feel me? Oh yeah, wearing beanies. They still wear beanies, but I kind of have that vibe to me in a way, a little bit, that old school kind of Chicano vibe, because I grew up in that era and I grew up around that mentality. Even here in Oakland, I remember people still used to have it. So I'm going to ask everybody again if you guys want to donate to the cause. I'm putting up my Venmo account if you guys want to donate anything. Any little thing will help. Any little thing, you know what I mean? I've been doing this for a long time, and you know, these fools from YouTube don't want to monetize my channel. I keep applying for it and they keep lagging on it. So I'm just gonna put my IG, my not my IG, my Venmo. If anyone wants to donate anything to Jose, the first Chicano on YouTube is still doing it. Is at Jose Rivera 1210. You feel me? But if you want to give any little thing, donate like $1, $10, $5. Hey, it's all love. You know what I mean? It's gonna go to a good place. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can do it from Cash App to Venmo, bro. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. You could try, but I don't know, bro. I really don't know. But yeah, I think I put it wrong. Let me put it one more time. So yeah, I put it one more time. If anybody wants to donate anything, I put it one more time. Press that like button if you guys are joining me. Yeah, you know what? I do remember. I remember. Someone made a good point. I do remember the Chicanos in Oakland and in the Bay Area used to wear Ben Davis more than they did Dickies. Because I remember we used to always wear the Ben Davis shirts. I still have a couple of Ben Davis shirts that I rock from time to time. We used to wear the Ben Davis pants. That was always a thing. Even in my brother's generation in the 80s, they used to wear Ben Davis a lot. I remember. I remember it being even more popular than Dickies, to be really honest with you. Oh yeah, the trench coats. I still have a pea coat. I think so, San Jose still had the cholo look a little bit, but then I remember when I would go to San Jose also, and this is not to make fun of people from San Jose, but I remember a lot of cats in San Jose were kind of like lightweight, pretty boy looking, like they'd be wearing like pretty boy clothes, and like their hair would be like would have blonde streaks, and I don't know, it was like a lot of like those pretty boy like papi chulo looking type dudes. You know what I mean? A lot of those type of dudes you used to see in Oakland. I mean in San Jose. We used to call them GQ smooth type dudes back in the days, if you guys remember that word. But yeah, man, if you guys want to donate anything to Jose, be sure to donate if you want to. But yeah, man, I got a puffy coat now. I love those puffy coats. I started wearing puffy coats back in the days. I bought one. My first one I bought in like '97, and yeah, I got a puff coat. You know what I mean? I had a pea coat. I still got a pea coat that I wear from time to time. You feel me? I still got a derby. I got an old school derby. What was the first Mexican supermarket you could remember? Was it Los Mexicanos? You know what? The first one I honestly remember was La Fortuna on La Fortuna on Fruitvale, and I remember Arts on Fruitvale, and I remember Lily's. Lily's used to be on and Miramontes. They used to be on 15th and East 14th. I want to say right by San Antonio Park, kind of. Those are the ones I remember, bro. Like early on, and then Los Mexicanos came about mid '80s, I want to say. And then there used to be Mi Rancho in West Oakland, also over there by downtown. Yeah, Miramontes. You remember Miramontes shortcuts? That was back in the days, bro. Right there by like a couple blocks from San Antonio Park, but it was on East 14th. You feel me? Oh, and the Jalisco's, the Carnitas place, it was right down the street from there. And Lily's, there used to be a place called Lily's across the street. I remember my mom used to always go there all the time. You feel me? And then Los Mexicanos, obviously, that was the most famous one. You know, everybody went to that one. You feel me? Everybody went to Los Mexicanos on High Street. You know, I remember the early taco trucks. But old school troop, I got a couple troop things, man. I got troop shoes and gear. I got a couple of them. You feel me? Look, I got some. I'll show them you right now. I got some old school troop ice lambs. You see those? See them? That's OG shit. Ah, that's how you know I know the old school, bruh. Can't school me. Oh yeah, the station wagon carnitas guy. Yup, on the I knew that fool. In Vallejo, they had victories. Oh yeah, I've been to victories hella times. Oh yeah, yeah. I used to live in Vallejo, Chris Correa. I lived there in '95. I knew hella homies from BPN and BCV, Barrio Central Vallejo. You feel me? I remember victories. I still go there from time to time to buy bands and stuff like that. I still like wearing some of that old school gear. You feel me? Because I'm from the old school. But yeah, man, so going back to what we were talking about, as the styles changed and it became more about Gold Grill and more about Ghost riding the whip, you know, people forgot about the lowrider styles, people forgot about the Chicano styles, and it became more about swinging your cars. It became more about, hitting the foothill strip, you know what I mean? It became more about gold grills and shake them dreads and long t-shirts and all that stuff, you feel me? Yeah, R.I.P. Big John, man. I went to his memorial service yesterday, and they had a thing for him at San Antonio Park. Um, Kind of there became a rejection. There became a rejection of the old Chicano style, and it became looked at as a LA thing or as a Sureño thing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how the new generation kind of took it. And, there's a lot of youngsters that don't even realize what it used to be like. You feel me? In Oakland back in the days. And the Chicanos in Oakland, a lot of them carried themselves as Chicano in that style. You feel me? But, that all changed as time progressed. And that's why I'm here to bring a lot of those memories back and show people what used to be around before their time. When I was a kid, the stuff I seen when I was young and a teenager too. You feel me? But yeah, man, that's just how it goes. Can't forget the Black Pro Bay hoodies. Oh yeah, I remember those. The Pro Bay, and I remember there was a lot of other ones, a lot of other styles from back then. It'd be funny if they play on Barbie Girl in the mid 2000s. Said Barbie Girl. I remember that dumb song. But yeah, man. So yeah, like I said, if anyone want to donate to the Venmo to help a brother out, don't be shy too. And if you want me to post it again, I'll post it again. Like I said, I'm gonna post it in my lives. I'm gonna put it on my videos from now on. Cause I gotta make a living too, just like everybody else on YouTube. Do you think Oakland or Bay will ever be Cholo style back in the future? It could be. You never know, bro. You know how a lot of youngsters sometimes bring back old styles. You know what I mean? So you never know. I'm starting to see some youngsters wearing baggy stuff again. I thought no one was gonna wear baggy no more, but slowly I'm seeing some cats wearing baggy stuff again. So you never know. You never know. Some dudes might look at the old style and start wearing bands again or Dickies again. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, the ducktail did come back. That's old school. Yeah, the ducktail. I remember the pompadours when fools used to have the big pompadours back in the days. Oh yeah, the mullet. What about the Edgar? What's that one they call the Edgar? That's the one I see everybody has now. The youngsters. Cartoon toys? What do you mean? But yeah, man. Shit, the cartoons I grew up with was what, like the Transformers and G.I. Joe and Thundercats and He-Man and all that shit. Just like the skaters bringing back the oversized clothes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to notice cats wearing oversized clothes again. I see some youngsters from time to time wearing. Look at all the females. All the females right now are wearing baggy clothes again. What about Oakland 130? Yeah, man, Oakland. I talked about that on my last live about the homicides rates in Oakland. You know what I mean? It's been rough. It's been rough. I already talked about it, and it's just I don't want it to be a repeating issue. But yeah, man. So what do you think? At the end of the day, let's leave it at this because I've talked about this for almost an hour. What do you think? If you're whether you're from the Bay Area or not, press that like button if you're joining in, and please support my Venmo account. If you want to donate anything, it's at Jose-Rivera-1210 on Venmo. If you want to donate any little donation to Jose, please stop by Venmo and help a brother out. And I'll put it down there again on the link before I get off. And also, I'm going to start putting it on my videos. So if you want to support me in any way, please help a brother out. But I'm going to leave it like this. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Raza in Oakland and the Bay Area forgot their roots? Do you think that we are ashamed to be Raza and that we want to be black, like the stereotype of us? Do you think that's true, or do you think it's just part of the culture? That's just how we grew up, and people have to get over it and accept it is what it is. So leave it in the comments. You know what I mean? Tell me what you think. You feel me? Because I just look at it as times have changed. Hella dudes in the hashtag used to have Italian names too. Did they? In Hayward? But, I just think times have changed. The styles that we grew up with are gone. Sometimes they get revived, but, it's just times have changed. It's not the 90s or 80s anymore. It's 2021. It's about to be 2022. And I don't blame the youngsters for what they do. It is what it is. The youngsters, they're always going to do their thing. The younger generations are always going to do their thing, and the older generations are always going to say that they're this or that and blah, blah, blah. It's always happened. It happened when I was young. It happened when my brothers who were older than me were young, and it probably happened to the older generation before that. I mean, look at the Pachucos and the Zoo Suiters. You know what I mean? They got shit for wearing baggy suits. You know what I mean? People say they were juvenile delinquents, and how dare these Mexicans dress like that, and let's throw them in jail and make them criminals and make laws to ban zoo suits. So imagine that. People back then, the old generations were saying that the homies wearing suits, baggy suits, was all bad. You feel me? So it's just the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? People just don't understand the new. And the OGs just don't understand it. Because I was the same way. When hyphy came around, I hated hyphy stuff, bro. I was like, fuck, what is this shit? You know what I mean? I was like, why are these fools looking like that? They look like clowns. I was saying the same. Even if you look at some of my old-ass videos, I used to talk hella shit about hyphy music, bro. But eventually I let that go. And I had to come to terms with that's just what the youth were into. That was their thing. You know what I mean? My times had passed already. You feel me? And they became the Hoto generation. But, no, I'm just fucking around. But I just accepted it. It changed. The styles changed. And I just got old. And it is what it is. But I'm always going to remember where I came from and what I came from. And there's no changing that. You feel me? But, yeah, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. What about turf shirts? I remember those with the murdered doves and the deep east and all that. I remember those shirts. That's hella old school. But yeah, man, leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think before I get off. I'm gonna leave it to you guys. I've already talked for like an hour straight about this. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about any of what I talked about tonight. And if you want to donate to my Venmo, feel free and do it. I'll post it one more time before I get off. But, yeah, man. Or the hyphy t-shirts. You mean those big-ass long t-shirts? Make you look like a condom, man. But, yeah, man. So, Yeah, leave a message. Let me know before I get off this. Tell me what you think about tonight's live. Any of the things I talked about today. You know, what you talking about? What about the style now? What do you think? The pro. What do I think? I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's what these youngsters like. You know what I mean? It's like this is a different generation than me. You know, I'm seeing a lot of. I don't see as many of the skinny jeans anymore, though. I don't see the skinny jeans as much. I see more like fitted clothes now. I see a lot of dudes wearing sweatsuits now. Even though we wore tracksuits back in the days, I see a lot of the puffy coats coming back in style. I see I see some like skater types and certain fools wearing baggy clothes again. The women seem to be wearing a lot of baggy clothes now. You feel me? I noticed that a lot. Like girls wear baggy jeans a lot now. And you know, like I said, the youngsters are always gonna have their things. You feel me? The youngsters are always gonna have their thing, and I'm just an old man already. I'm 44 years old. You feel me? My time has passed. Like I saw back in the days, I'm not a kid anymore, but sometimes I wish I was a kid again. Feel me? My times are gone, bro. My time was late 80s to the mid and late 90s. You feel me? That's my time. You know what? I had a troop jacket. I have one now. Hold on, let me go get it. I got a tracksuit. Look, a troop cap tracksuit. I worked the other day. I got the shoes to go with it too. I couldn't afford troop back in those days. You feel me? But so I had only a pair of troop shoes back in that time, bro. I wish I would have had the whole outfit, but I couldn't afford it. I was a little kid. You feel me? I had some lottos too back then. I have some lottos now. I think all them. I like all them OG styles. So let me see. No matter we ain't no place like Oakland, I'm proud to be born and raised in the town, Oakland for life. For sure, I don't think Chicano from the day lost their code. I think it's just diversity. SoCal was more segregated back in the days, which is why they kept there so long. Yeah, that's true. What about Le Tigre? I have some Le Tigre. I was wearing a Le Tigre shirt in one of my lives. I don't know if you remember. I have a Le Tigre uh, 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 tracksuit as well. TR fell off, said, "Ooh, ooh." Remember that on the Too Short I Ain't Tripping video? He's like, I seen Too Short with a big afro based out. He had a troop jacket. TR fell off and said, "Ooh, ooh." Bay Rasa is getting kicked out for sure. I mean, because of the gentrification, blacks are getting kicked out. You know, working class people in general are getting kicked out. You feel me? And it's the gentrification, man. It's wild, but we'll see. Yeah, I made a video about it. I have a derby jacket too. I have a lot of those old school styles, bro. You'd be surprised because that's what I grew up around, bro. I just love that era, bro, because that's the era I'm from. Derby jackets, troop, you know what I mean? Corduroys, all that stuff, bro. Acid wash jeans, Ben Davis, you feel me? What y'all know about that? That's the OG shit, you feel me? That's the shit I grew up around, you know what I mean? I still wear a lot of clothes like that. I got Pendletons too. I got a few Pendletons. So yeah, man. But I mix it up with modern stuff. Like I got some Tommy Hilfiger stuff. I got some Calvin Klein stuff. So yeah, man. Parachute pants like Hammer. We got a Graham the corner. Oh yeah, I remember the corner. So yeah, man. I'm gonna leave it one more time before I get off. If anyone who wants to donate, give a donation to Jose's Oakland Latinos United Fund. If you want to donate anything to Venmo, I'm gonna put it right there for you guys. That's my Venmo account at Jose-Rivera-1210. If you want to donate any little thing, like I said, they're not monetizing my channel, so I'm asking for donations from now on. And I'm gonna post them on my videos too. So if you want to help out with any little thing, be gladly appreciated for reals. Cause Jose gotta make a living off YouTube too. Even though I make a living outside of this, obviously, but you know, I'm gonna ask the community if you want to help me out. But yeah, man. So yeah, I remember all them things, man. Them pro wings were the worst. Yeah, I remember pro wings. Them motherfuckers, they used to fall apart. I remember my mom used to buy me like cheap ass fucking shoes from Kmart, bro. If you guys remember Kmart, there used to be a Kmart in San Leandro, and there used to be another one in Hayward. And I remember we used to go out to San Leandro to the Kmart because we were poor, man. And she would buy me like shoes, like cheap ass shoes, and them motherfuckers would fall apart. Yeah, I remember Payless. There used to be one right there on Fruitvale and East 14th back in the days. But yeah, I remember all that. You feel me? Yeah, the Nike Cortez. I still got a couple pairs of those. You feel me? The blue light special. Yup, the blue light special at fucking Kmart. Yeah, the cheapest shoes were winos. Those were tight though, man. The wine. I still got a pair of winos. Those are OG. I wear them around the house sometimes. But yeah, the winos, man. That's what the cholos used to wear back in the days. Youngsters be riding them dirt bike. Yeah, the dirt bike thing is big now with these youngsters. You feel me? I'm telling you, bro, Mike Wallace, I wear all the old school. I love all the old school stuff, bro. And I mix it in with some of the new school. Like I was telling you, I got like a couple Tommy Hilfiger fix. I got a couple of Calvin Klein and a couple other little name brands that I wear too. And I'll mix it in with some of the OG styles. And it looks nice. Oh yeah, the Chinese shoes. But I remember the women used to wear the Chinese shoes more, the cholas with the flowers in them. Remember with the flower painted on them. You feel me? I remember that back in the days. You know what I mean? That was like way back, but I was little. I was a little kid. Nah, I never really wore the Timberland boots. Yeah, the OG, the Chucks, cause I'm low on bucks. Let's be famous back in the days. Yeah, Reeboks were popular. Converse. I used to wear the Converse too. The Chuck Taylors. I had a few pairs. I had a red pair. I had a no burgundy. I never had red. I had burgundy. I had I had black, and I had like the cream colored ones. I wanted wool red Pendleton. You could probably get one at Hammer and Lewis. There's a few places in the Bay Area you could get them. Hammer and Lewis in San Jose. Uh, Hallmark in Berkeley got some, and there's a place in Richmond called Golden Gate Western Wear. They sell Pendletons there too, or online. Yep. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, I was never into overalls. The overalls were really big in like the late '80s, early '90s. I remember that's when everybody in the Bay, and even in Sacramento, because I lived in Sacramento for a couple of years in the early '90s, they used to wear overalls. Then NFLs used to wear Pumas. Did they? I don't remember. I remember the starter jackets. So those were hella popular in the early '90s. Everybody had a starter jacket. You feel me? That was like the thing back then. You feel me? But yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, I love all that stuff. You know what? I never was into Carhartt. I don't dislike it, but I was never a Carhartt person. I knew a lot of homies that used to wear it though. I remember the Carhartt beanies were hella popular. Fools used to wear the Carhartt jackets, and especially in the '90s, like mid '90s, that was really big. The Carhartt thing. You feel me? That was the style. What about cross colors? Who remembers cross colors? Cross colors is another thing that people forget about. That was popular in like the early '90s. I wasn't into the cross colors though. The colors were kind of funky to me. I wasn't big on it, but I knew hella cats they used to wear it. You feel me? Turtlenecks. I never fuck with no turtlenecks. Fubu. I had Fubu. I had Rockaware. I had Carl Kanai. I had all that stuff back then. I have a picture where I'm all flamed up wearing a Fubu. Stacy Adams. That's like the OG generation. They used to wear Stacy Adams, like the old veteranos. Back in the A, like I was telling you earlier, I remember in Oakland seeing like fools. I could remember like clearly in my head, like seeing like a dude just pachuco down, walking down East 14th with like a wife beater, hella tattoos, and like a Pendleton folded on his arm with khakis and fucking shiny ass Stacy Adams, bro, with like a pompadour and a big ass brocha, bro. I can remember like some dudes walking down East 14th looking like that, bro. When I was hella little, bro, I must have been like 7, 8 years old, bro. Like just dudes just all fucking cholo pachucoed out, bro. Like, hey, it was so Holmes, like it was sundown. That dude from the NF. But yeah, man, I could just remember like seeing cats You know what I remember too, bro? Yeah, the 38 locals and 36, all them fools, Fruitvale gangsters, all them niggas used to dress like that. Well, I don't know about Fruitvale, but I know like 15 and 38, 36, all them fools used to dress like that. But yeah, I remember fools, and I remember like also what I remember very very little, bro. I was a little kid. I still remember fools rolling around in bombas. I don't know if you guys are OG enough to know what bombas were, but bombas were like the old school lowriders, like from the 50s and 40s, bro. I could remember being a little ass kid seeing like dudes cruising down East 14, cruising around in a bomba, bro. I was hella little though, hella little. Oh yeah, the principal, yeah, hell yeah. I knew hella them cats in the principal. Yeah, the mini truck, but the mini trucks were more like the late 80s and early 90s. I'm talking about when I was little. This is more like the early 80s, bro. I was like a little ass kid. And I could remember fools like rolling panel trucks and bombas cruising down East 14th or down Foothill, bro. Just like straight choloed out, bumping oldies, bro. It was like it's like something from Boulevard Nights, bro. In Oakland, bro. This is like in Oakland, in the Mission too, bro. I remember hella lowriders cruising down Mission when I was a little kid too. You feel me? And people say that those styles never existed in the Bay Area. You feel me? That's why I laugh at these fools that don't know our history out here. You feel me? Cisco from the Hells. Oh yeah, he was in the movie. I think he's the one that got the homies from 38 on the movie. Was that dude Cisco from what I was told? What do you think about other races wearing do rags? I used to wear do rags sometimes in the house because they would help my hair go back. Because my hair is very hard to comb, bro. And I would use hairnets and they wouldn't work, so I would use some of the do rags to help my hair go back. But I wouldn't really wear them on the street. I would just wear them at the house. Oh yeah, Puppet. Yeah, wasn't he like Samoan or something like that? That dude Puppet. My brother knows that fool. His name is he's like Tongan or Samoan or something like that, if I remember right. But he was like a straight up cholo. You feel me? He used to wear like khaki down, look like Boulevard Nights Vato and shit. You feel me? Damien Lavacta. Oh yeah, I think that is his name, huh? But I was told that he was like my brother told me he was like Samoan or something like that, Hawaiian Samoan. Orale. Yeah, my brother told me about that home. I met him before though. I met a lot of them cats, bro. I know Big Surge. I know fucking I know I knew all them OGs like Rob Borelli. They call him Bota, and a lot of other cats that I met, bro, from 38 and then 36, because my brother was from 36, so I knew all them cats from 36. Frank and Rich and all them food, Lil Juan, all them cats. You feel me? But yeah, man, a lot of memories. But yeah, man, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's live. We talked about that history. Oh yeah, yeah, using canes. I remember that. The cholos with the canes. Yeah, I remember that for sure. Oh, you right? Okay, from St. Louis. Oh yeah, Beetle. I heard about that dude. My brother knew that fool. He would mention that dude. Big Rick from 38. Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. I probably met him before. But yeah, man. The Ben Davis. Yeah, Ben Davis was a style. So yeah, man. So hopefully you guys liked tonight's live. It was an interesting one. You feel me? Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully it got you thinking because I broke down a lot of history about the Bay Area, about Oakland, and why people in the Bay Area talk the way they do. Why we talk more urban style, as some like to say it. He was a security guard. Puppet's brother was my homie. Oh yeah, I think I met his brother one time. Wear suspenders. I don't remember the suspender look too much in Oakland. I'm sure some cats probably did it though. Frank and Rich, up. I know the niggas wearing hairnets, pocket combs. I know that in the documentary Children of Violence, there's a scene where he's like at a dance and he's wearing like a suspenders with the dress shirt and some dress pants. Oh yeah, the Tres Flores. I remember another one called Jockey Club too. Jockey Club, Tres Flores, all that stuff, bro. That's like the old school stuff. And I know Mike Wallace is gonna remember all the cholo stores like the Corner, like Melrose, Bonanza's, Q's Clothing, all them old spots. You feel me? That was like the spots where you would get your cholo clothes. Wingtips. That's like the way back in the day. You know what? Wingtips were actually big in style. Like 5 years ago, bro, a lot of people were wearing wingtips again. Believe it or not, a lot of people were wearing them again. They were very popular. I have a couple pairs of wingtips, and the other one. I have Stacy Adams. You feel me? Yeah, I remember all them stores, man. They all gone except Bonanza's. That's the only one left out of all them stores. You feel me? But but yeah, man. So I'm about to get off this soon. You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this live. Like always, we always talking about Oakland history, Bay Area history, and I don't want to leave out those people that are from San Francisco, from San Jose, from Vallejo, from Richmond, Hayward. You feel me? All the Bay Area cities. You feel me? All of them, bro. It's one love. And then those of you who are from the Central Valley, from Sacramento, from Modesto, Stockton. You know what I mean? From the 707, Santa Rosa, Vallejo, Fairfield. People in SoCal. LA, San Diego, Orange County, or wherever you may be, man. One love, you know what I mean? And beyond, like always. Thanks for coming on here and supporting Oakland Latinos United. I'm going to keep doing this. I've been doing it for a long time. Roll call. Somebody said roll call. Oakland, where you from? I'm from East Oakland, originally from East 7th Street. Grew up in the Doves in the dirty 30s. It's all love. The Fruitvale District, that's where I'm from. You feel me? Where y'all from? Where's everybody at? Roll call. Where you guys calling from? Where you at? Where you at? In Oakland? Are you guys in Frisco? Are you guys in the Central Valley? Roll call. Let's do it before I get off. Let's see who's on here today. East 7th in the 40s. Don't be shy. 38 near La Finca. 39 near La Finca. I know it's Turtle Island, Mother Earth. It's all good. We all from Turtle Island. La Pachamama. But yeah, man. SAC 916 in the house. I used to live out there. Harbor area. That's where in LA, right? North Vallejo, College Park. I know College Park. 35th and Foothill, Galindo and Harrington. Yup. College Park, that's North Vallejo, up there by the crest, kind of. I know where that's at. I know College. Trust me, I got some stories about College Park. Barrio Molesto, 209ers. Oh, I know who that is. Welcome, Southern Califas. Yeah, man, it's no North and South beef here, bro. It's all love. But yeah, man, I got some stories about College Park. I know that park. What's it called? Satterquist Park, right there by Mini Drive. I know all that shit, bro. Trust me. The old bond fair used to be down the street. The liquor store. I remember one time I was trying to peel this black and Samoan chick. She was fucking beautiful, and she started talking to me. I was trying to game her up right there in College Park, bro. I was a little fool, bro. I missed them times. That's when I was a little kid, bro, a little youngster. You feel me? I had hella fun when I lived in Vallejo. I lived in Vallejo for 3 years, bro, and I met some cool ass cats out there in the V Town. Shouts out to the V Town, Vallejo, Califas. It's one love to the V Town. You feel me? I had a lot of fun in that town. I got many stories. I'm gonna make a video one day about my stories in Vallejo, bro. But yeah, Mini Drive by the Boys Club. Yup. Who remembers Wilkie from 36? That sounds hella familiar, bro. Hey, Mike Wallace, you remember Big from 36, the big black dude? I remember that cat. Or you remember Scursville, the old black homies that used to be from 36? I remember my brother told me they used to fight with them dudes a lot. But yeah, man, Vallejo, I'm gonna make a video one day about my stories in Vallejo. R.I.P. Mexican Mike. Big, yeah, Big. I heard he passed away. That's what my brother told me. But yeah, I remember all them cats. You feel me? R.I.P. Mexican Mike, R.I.P. Factone. You feel me? R.I.P. all the fallen soldiers in the town. All the raza. Don't quote me on that though, but my brother told me that Big is dead. I don't know. He might be alive, but that's what I was told. So it might be true. But yeah, if he did die, R.I.P. to the brother. You feel me? But I remember him when I was a little kid. I used to see him around 36 at Foothill. But yeah, I'm gonna make a video one day. Oh yeah, the Raider man. I remember when that happened. He got killed. There was a drive-by shooting, right? Right there on 36, and he was like in the living room and got hit. I remember that, bro. That was fucked up. I might make a video about crime stories about that. I want to make the Oakland crime stories again. You feel me? Sleeping. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. What year was that, bro? That was like late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. But I remember when that happened. It was like a drive-by shooting or something like that on 36. You feel me? Big Mama Lee. Oh, yeah. She passed away from the 60s. Yeah. I heard she passed away back in the days. But yeah, man. The Barrio 60, that's how they throw it up. Oh, Larry, yeah, Larry. Fuck, I forget his last name. You talking about Larry that dresses like a, like a whatchamacallit, like a biker, right? I know that fool. I'm 44, been in Bells and said, hey, you gotta do a V-Town documentary. Yeah, I did a barrio tours of Vallejo. If you go down in my videos, I did a couple videos about barrio tours in Vallejo. I did the Crest, I did Central, I did North, and I did the Hillside. You feel me? Maybe I'll go again and do some more. But yeah, man, looks like my video paused. Once again, man, R.I.P. to Dancing Dan. Oh yeah, that was done. He was Carlos Parker's brother. He passed away, huh? But yeah, man. So this thing is tripping and paused, but I think you guys can hear me. So yeah, man, I'm about to get off this thing. But once again, man, I'm gonna ask everybody's help if you want to help out. If you want to donate to the Oakland Latinos United Cause, I put a link to my Venmo. It's at Jose-Rivera-1210. That's my Venmo. If you want to donate any little thing to me to help me out, because I've been doing this for a long time, and I want to continue doing this, but they don't monetize my channel, so I'm gonna start asking from time to time for donations. I'm gonna start putting on my videos, and yeah, man, if you want to help me out, feel free to hit up my Venmo, and any little donation will help. Good night, y'all. Mike Wallace. R.I.P. to the Barrio Sardino. So, yeah, man, I'm about to get off this myself. You know what I mean? I'm about to get off this. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this live. I'm going to keep bringing good ones for you, good topics to talk about. Like that, you guys could know a little bit of the history of the Bay. And get a perspective from a Bay Area person, from someone who's from here. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me a lot. But you can get a perspective of someone who's from the Bay Area who's been here a long time. Shouts out to the V-Town. Shouts out to the Central Valley, Modesto. Shouts out to Sacramento, to the LA, Southern California. And shouts out to the motherfucking East Side, Oaktown, Oakland in general. You feel me? And shouts out to the whole Bay Area. But I'm about to get off this. And like I said, if you want to support, it's at Jose-Rivera-1210. That's my Venmo. If you want to help Jose any little thing, I promise you I will donate. The funds will be used to bring this channel up. That's a guarantee. And any little thing will help. So, yeah, stay tuned for new stay tuned for new videos coming up. I know I've been lagging on the video department. I'm doing new spills. I know I've been lagging, but that's going to change soon because I was just busy. I was really busy for a minute. Now I'm going to have a little bit more time. I might even make a video right after I get off of this. I've been wanting to make a couple videos, so be on the lookout for those. Maybe tomorrow morning you'll have a new spill on Oakland Latinos United. But I'm about to get off this, y'all. You want to support, like I said, once again, at Jose-Rivera-1210 on Venmo. If you want to donate anything to Jose's YouTube fund, it'll be gladly appreciated. Any little thing. And keep tuning in to Oakland Latinos United. I'll be back next weekend, hopefully, with more. And y'all stay up. Be safe. Be safe out there in these, especially if you're in Oakland. It's fucking hot out there in Oakland, so be safe, man. And stay up. One love. Chicano power. I wish you the best, bro. We need a Chicano channel for sure. Well, you got one from the Bay Area, so hopefully we get some more. All right, y'all. Late.